By now, I think everybody knows the Wii U is the joke of gaming systems. Developers left and right, from Activision to EA to Ubisoft to 2K Games, have snubbed the system. Even smaller developers who make games for the Xbox One and PS4, such as 4A Games or CD Projekt Red, have not made anything for the Wii U. And that has meant that many big games that have come out since the launch of the Xbox One and PS4, or even this year, have not been on the Wii U. From Call of Duty Advanced Warfare to Battlefield 4 to Diablo 3 to Borderlands the pre-sequel to Dark Souls 2 to The Evil Within to Alien Isolation to... There's so many of these games that I could name. So now you may be wondering, with me talking about various games not being on the Wii U, what this even has to do with the Wii U and the game I'm reviewing. Simple. Because the Wii U has very few games, and many games skip out on it, and many people will talk instead about how the Wii U has these amazing exclusives. Exclusives such as Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, the game I'm going to be reviewing today on the Wii U. Now, this game is pretty much, well, a whole spin-off game they made based off those Captain Toad levels in Super Mario 3D World. Now, you might be wondering why they'd make a full game out of this. Me neither. I don't understand either, especially when people have been asking Nintendo to make more of the games they want, such as a new Metroid, a new F-Zero, and a new Star Fox, with none of them being casualized whatsoever. And of course, let's not forget Smash Brothers that isn't watered down either. But anyways, this game is one of those games where you're already looking at this and wondering, did I ever ask for this game? Because I sure didn't. I mean, let's be honest here, who actually wanted Captain Toad? But I'm actually going to show gameplay footage now, and I'm going to talk about this game right now, because maybe this game might be the greatest game ever. Maybe this game might be more next-gen than Battlefield 4. Or maybe this game might be more next-gen than, let's just say, The Witcher 3. Or Metro. Or all these other games that I could name. So anyways, let's play this game. Now, the first thing I'll mention is that this game costs $40. Keep this in mind as I talk about the rest of the game. So Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is pretty much a game made for the Wii U based off the Captain Toad levels in Super Mario 3D World. And the first thing you notice when you play this game is, wow, this game looks bland. It's got that same bland look as Super Mario 3D World, with lots of color, but no style whatsoever. I mean, sure, there's no style whatsoever when you play this game. Maybe it might have a lot of bloom, like an ENB mod, if you don't know what those are. Basically, they're those graphic mods you see online for PC games that allow even older games like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas to look like a 2008 game with tons of bloom. But anyways, this game has lots of bloom. I mean, you'll play this game and you'll notice it really goes in your face to show you it has a lot of bloom, because apparently Nintendo's design philosophy is it needs more bloom. However, despite this, the game lacks a distinct visual identity. It just looks the same as every other generic, bland, modern-day Nintendo 3D Mario game. It just does. I mean, remember when Nintendo was trying to push the limits visually and try to make Mario games each have a different style? And look, yet another Mario game with the same bland 3D Mario visual style you'd see on a 3DS case. Actually no, I mean original DS case. Yeah, it's got that same bland style. It's just not eye-pleasing whatsoever. And it also doesn't help that they made this game based off a Mario character literally no one cares about. Or that the assets seem to be reused from Super Mario 3D World. So all in all, the graphics in this game just look bland. But that's the least of the problems with this game. The game can, however, do 60 frames a second. However, keep in mind, This doesn't mean very much, as many Xbox One and PS4 games can do 60 frames a second, and while pushing a lot more, both graphically and gameplay-wise. So anyways, let's move on to the next part, the gameplay, which is where this game really fails. Captain Toad is a very basic spin the area around and then try to move yourself through platformer. Kind of like Echo Chrome on the old PSP kinda, you remember that game that came free with like a bunch of PSPs? You can't jump whatsoever, but despite this, you'll still like shrink and then die just like in the Mario games if you even touch an enemy. So if you're small and you try to like jump on an enemy by falling down, you can't do that. You have to be big, which can be frustrating, as even though the game pretty much shows you can fall on an enemy to kill it, this game does not let you do that if you're in small mode, which you can do even in the other Mario games. The game also copies its format from the Angry Birds series. You're given a bunch of levels, and your main goal is to run through them. There's really no story, and just a bunch of chapters basically to split up the levels, but it's all the same. Go through a level, and get to the end. While there are lives, all the life system does is make the game easier, as when you die, you get a bunch of coins. I'm not even joking. And honestly, considering this game's inspiration, I find it funny how there's a life system. The controls are pretty awkward too, as the game does have its own weird gyroscope controls along with the right stick look controls, and you cannot disable either one. So if you just want to use the right stick controls to look, too bad. You can accidentally move your Wii U controller, and next thing you know, it messes up your camera. You can't disable it. You can't use a classic controller, or Pro controller, or any other controller. All it has in the manual are controls for the Wii U gamepad. The game also has some other forced Wii U gamepad gimmicks, such as touching the screen, when a button probably would have worked just fine. The game quickly gets boring fast, as it's a $40 mobile game. I mean, really, it feels like a mobile game, complete with the format of a mobile game, and the difficulty of a mobile game, where it starts out easy, then suddenly jacks the difficulty up, so you have to keep playing the level over and over again. And while this would work on a cell phone, this is not a cell phone game. This is actually a $40 game for a major console. And while other companies would normally get like their reviews lower, such as the Angry Birds collection on the 360, I mean, look how low of a score that game got. Then look how high this game got when it came to Metacritic. Yeah, it's still okay if Nintendo does it, I guess. And the music is boring and repetitive. Really, there's nothing memorable about this game's music. You'll probably forget it the second you return this game to GameStop when you get bored of it. So honestly, this is just another boring, bland Wii U game. And it's just forgettable. It really is. The only thing you won't get, though, is your frustration from the gimmicks, because this game does push gamepad gimmicks. So all in all, this game is just another bland and forgettable Nintendo game. And trust me, if the only system you own is a Wii U, you'll have to buy another one if you actually want to play the games this gen. Because honestly, the Wii U has, like, no games. So unless all you want to play are games such as Captain Toad, buy another system, honestly. That's all I have to say. Because this game is pretty trashy, and so is the Wii U, which mostly has games which are boring and forgettable like this. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more.